In the ancient lands of Persia, where the sun burned hot and the winds carried whispers of old gods, there stood a powerful symbol high above the temples of the Zoroastrians. This symbol was the winged sun disk, a sacred sign that held deep meaning for the people who followed the teachings of the prophet Zarathustra. Its golden wings stretched wide as if ready to take flight, while the disk at its center shone like the sun itself. To understand the story of this symbol is to step into a world of ancient beliefs, divine battles, and the eternal struggle between light and darkness. Long before kings built great empires, before cities rose from the dust, the people of Persia looked to the sky and saw the sun as a gift from the gods. They believed that light was sacred, a force of goodness that pushed back the shadows of evil. The god who stood above all others was Ahura Mazda, the lord of wisdom and light. He was the creator of all that was good, and his enemy, Angra Mainyu, was the spirit of destruction and darkness. The world was their battlefield, and the winged sun disk became a sign of Ahura Mazda's power and protection. The symbol itself was not just a simple drawing. It carried layers of meaning. The sun in the center stood for truth, and the divine light of Ahura Mazda. The wings stretched on either side with the reach of his power, covering the earth like a shield. Sometimes the disk also had the body of a man, a king or a priest, showing the connection between heaven and earth. This was no ordinary decoration. It was a promise. A promise that as long as the sun rose each morning, the forces of light would never be defeated. The story of the winged sun disk begins in the earliest days of the world. Ahura Mazda, the Shining One, looked upon the emptiness and shaped the earth, the sky, and all living things. But Angra Mainyu, the dark spirit, envied this creation. He sought to corrupt it, to bring suffering and lies into the world. The two forces clashed, and though Ahura Mazda was stronger, the battle was far from over. It would last until the end of time. To guide his followers, Ahura Mazda sent the prophet Zarathustra, also known as Zoroaster, to teach the people the path of truth. Zarathustra spoke of the eternal flame, of pure thoughts, good deeds, and the importance of choosing light over darkness. The temples of the Zoroastrians became places of fire, where priests kept sacred flames burning day and night. And above these temples, the winged sun disk watched over them, a constant reminder of Ahura Mazda's presence. But the symbol was not only a religious sign. Kings and warriors also carried it into battle. They believed that the wings would protect them, that the sun would give them strength. When the great Persian empires rose, the Achaemenids, the Parthians, the Sasanians, they placed the winged sun disk on their banners, their crowns, and their palaces. It became a mark of royal power, a sign that the ruler was chosen by the gods to lead his people. There are tales of brave kings who wore the symbol into war, of priests who prayed beneath its golden glow, and of ordinary people who looked up at it and felt hope in their hearts. One such story tells of a young prince who doubted the power of the gods. He mocked the priests and refused to honor the sacred flames. One night, as he slept, he dreamed of a great darkness swallowing the land. The sun vanished, and the people cried out in fear. Then, from the black sky, the winged sun disk appeared, its light pushing back the shadows. The prince awoke with a trembling heart and fell to his knees, begging for forgiveness. From that day on, he became a devoted follower of Ahura Mazda. As time passed, empires fell and new beliefs spread across the land. The temples of the Zoroastrians grew quiet, their fires dimmed. But the winged sun disk did not vanish. It traveled far, carried by traders and warriors, appearing in distant lands where people gave it new names and meanings. Some say it inspired the symbols of other great civilizations, that its wings can still be seen in the art of Egypt, in the temples of Mesopotamia, even in the legends of far-off lands. Today, though the world has changed, the winged sun disk remains. It stands in museums, carved on ancient stones, a silent witness to a time when gods walked among men. For those who know its story, it is more than just an old symbol. It is a reminder that light will always rise, that goodness will always fight back against the dark. And so, when you look upon the winged sun disk, remember the ancient battle between Ahura Mazda and Angra Mainyu. Remember the fire that never goes out, the truth that never fades. For as long as the sun crosses the sky, the promise of the winged disk lives on.